has the Universal Undisputed WWE Champion Roman Reigns, and I know that's not the way you're supposed to say it, it's a different totally way, but I already said it that way, has the Tribal Chief met his match, authority-wise, with brand new SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. Now, ever since WWE split the General Manager roles, Adam Pearce was now dedicated exclusively to Raw, and Nick Aldis was brought on to run SmackDown. I think WWE has done a pretty damn good job of giving them enough on-screen power and presence to the point that people and the fans, especially the audience, who's the most important in this case, respects them and knows that they mean business, but also enough leeway to the point that they're not heels and they're not babyfaces. They're just basic authority figures calling the shots. They don't favor anyone. And the best proof, or the highest proof of this fact, is what Nick Aldis was able to do last week on SmackDown. Because we've seen it in the past. Adam Pearce and Roman Reigns, their interactions have always led to Roman Reigns being the tribal chief, the alpha dog, the big dog, and calling the shots. Adam Pearce, at that time, being the WWE official, not running both shows, but just pretty much organizing both Raw and SmackDown. Well, he had to run it through the Tribal Chief. He had to run it through Roman Reigns. Now, Adam Pearce has gotten a little bit more of a authority in him to just run Monday Night Raw. We see that in his character. We see that in his presentation. I like that. Nick Aldis did not take very long to understand that you need to set your foot down. You need to really call it how it is, especially after Randy Orton RKO'd him on what was his, second, third, fourth night at the job. So Roman Reigns coming into his office last week, talking about that triple threat match in the main event to decide the number one contender to the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble. I said it right. And saying that Roman Reigns, well, he didn't approve that. He didn't run it by him. And Nick Aldis, well, telling him he doesn't run SmackDown anymore. Nick Aldis does. So what does Roman Reigns do? Well, he does what he usually does. We've seen this multiple times over his 3+ year long reign as champion. He throws a tantrum fit. He tries to impose his dominance. And he did that last week, along with the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso takes out all three men in a triple threat match, which results in a no contest. Again, it's a triple threat match. There really is no possibility for a no contest. So, it's the WWE world. Whatever. Not a fan of that. But Nick Aldis basically makes the Royal Rumble match a fatal 4-way because of it. Because of Roman Reigns' actions during the triple threat main event match from last week. Now he's in a handicap match, pretty much. He doesn't have to get pinned to lose the title at the Royal Rumble. Now, with that said, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, they can interfere on his behalf during this match as well. Fatal 4-ways, no DQs, no countouts, as long as Nick Aldis in the next week or so, next 2 weeks, doesn't bar anybody from the Bloodline from ringside. So with that said, what are your thoughts on Nick Aldis putting his foot down, really showing his quote-unquote authority over every single member of SmackDown, including the Tribal Chief himself, last week on Friday Night SmackDown? Do you think it works? Do you think it hinders Roman Reigns' character on TV going forward? Do you think it's a pretty good balance because Reigns has been getting what he wants, at least on screen as well, for the past 3 years? He might need a little bit more of a pushback on that terms. Again, that segment in the back and then the segment after the Bloodline's interference during the main event, that was entertaining. I didn't hate it. So with that said, leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. Also, what do you think Roman Reigns' response is going to be to that tonight or the next week, the next time he shows up on SmackDown, because he rarely, if ever, shows up to work these days. So with that said, tune in later on tonight to Fox for another episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Tune in later on tonight, I believe, to TNT for Rampage. We got Collision tomorrow. We also got Hard to Kill, TNA Wrestling's brand new homecoming. They've evolved back to TNA Wrestling. They got a hell of a pay-per-view set up in Las Vegas, Nevada. The title belts that they have been introducing on social media, they're pretty damn good. I've got my thoughts on a few of the designs, but again, you can't really be picky. And, well, it makes sense. TNA Wrestling is back. So with that said, I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.